Well, hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Play Safe. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we're out here at the something reservoir in Arvada. We've been here a bunch of times. It's our longer loop hike. And we're about to do just that. We're about to do a longer loop hike. Because I'm here to respond to some comments. I'm so far behind. Today is September 6th, just after work. And yeah, I'm going to try to make a concerted effort to get through as many comments as possible over the next week or so. Oh, we've got a potty break. Okay, just gotta go and throw this away. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get through as many comments as I can over the next couple of weeks and get all caught up. So I'm gonna try to keep the life stuff relatively short. And maybe I'll have some time to record just some like separate life vlogs. But things are going well for me. I hope they're going well for you. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. Work's going good. Life's going good. Apollo and I were supposed to do a little mini road trip down to Sedona next week. But if you remember in my last couple of vlogs, I was kind of toying with not going just to save some money. And so that's what I decided to do. So we're still going to do, I'm still taking the time off. I have the 10th through the 16th off this month. So we're still going to do something. I'm going to still do a mini road trip, but we're just not going to do the whole Airbnb of it all. And yeah, it was just like, the prices that I was seeing were anywhere from $600 to $750 for 2 nights. And I was just like, just to go, I don't know. It just didn't seem, I just didn't want to spend the money. I'll just be honest. Trying to be cheap. So we're going to do a little mini road trip. We're going to do some camping instead and just kind of do a tour through some major Colorado sights and scenes and do a little bit of camping and then maybe some day trips. So it's going to be very vlog and potentially whip and jam heavy because I'm going to be doing a lot of hiking. So we're going to do that instead. I'd like to go to Pikes Peak. There's a really cool castle that I want to share with you all. I'd like to do the $1 Million Highway. I'd love to take you into Telluride. It's a beautiful little town. Some hikes and stuff. So I think that's what we'll do instead. Let's go this way. There was a guy today, just as I was parking. I don't know what the situation was. I didn't see it all unfold, but he was on a bike, and then there was some lady driving a car, and they were going really fast down the road, both of them, and he was next to her, like really close to her car. I was like, is this one of those things where like she's filming him and they're doing some sort of video or something? Like I figured they knew each other and were doing some nonsense like that. Do you want to go backwards this time? Do you want to go backwards? It's going to mean we have a hard uphill on the way back, but it's okay. That's what I thought was going on. And then I was driving the opposite way, so they were coming towards me. I was about to pass them, but I stopped because I didn't want to hit the guy. He's like cycling really fast next to her. So they stopped, I stopped, and she stopped her car, and he just started screaming at her. She rolled her window down and he was like, you could have killed me, and you think this is funny, and blah, 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 blah. You need to be more respectful, young lady. I can't believe this. This is how you kill. I don't know what the situation was. I'm not sure if she was in the wrong or not. But my instinct went to. I grabbed my phone just in case I needed to call the police, and in case things got escalated. But my default is the if there's an older white gentleman screaming at a young woman, he's in the wrong. That's just my default. The old white guy will always be the one at fault. Until you can prove me otherwise. I just didn't like. I mean, he was in his 50s, maybe 60s, and she did seem younger, and she just looked shocked and a little terrified. I don't know what the circumstances were, but I immediately was just like, okay, this guy's laying into this lady, and probably for not a legitimate reason, maybe so. But I just stayed there parked until she rolled up her window and kept driving. He didn't like hit her or reach into the car or anything. He was just screaming at her. And then he as he's biking by, he just glares at me. I'm just like, what? Would you like to say something to me, sir? Just trying to make sure that you don't assault this woman in her car. That's all I'm trying to do. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. But she drove off. He biked in the opposite direction, and off they went. So I have no idea what that was. If she did do something to like endanger him, then fine. But he was really just like, I mean, I was not parked. I did not stop close to them, but I did have my window down, and I could hear him very clearly screaming. Like, I heard everything he said. She didn't even say anything back, I don't believe. He was just screaming at her. So anyway, but yeah, life stuff's going good. Not gonna go all the way down to Sedona, I don't think. Potentially, and if we do, we'll camp. But I'm just gonna try to do like a day drive, a hike, camp, drive some more, hike, camp, that type of thing, and just kind of wing it a little bit. Instead of getting the Airbnb and feeling like I have to make sure I'm down there by a certain time. And, I'd like to just keep it a little bit more casual and inexpensive. And I probably won't do the entire 6 days. We'll maybe just do like 3 or 4 days, because I'd like to, I guess, get into diamond painting. I'd like to have some time, some full days where I can just work on A Question of Reality and get it closer to being done. I'd say I'm about like 70% complete, 65-70% complete, but not nearly as far along as I was hoping. So I'm by this time in September, so I want to set aside a couple of days in that vacation to just jam out and get it done. Hopefully not burn myself out. I was talking to Mia today over at Mia's Life with KFS, and because I've only been working on A Question of Reality since I finished Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott a little over a week ago. I've just been working on that kit, and I have a round drill kit or an enhancement project I'm working on to swap in and out, to keep it fresh, keep it mixed up so I don't get burnt out. But I've just been feeling the pressure to finish this project by the end of September, so I've just been cranking on it. And it's a big old square drill canvas with decent amount of confetti, and I tend to get a little burnt out with those if that's all I'm doing. And so I wrote her today, and I was like, I had just finished another pretty big chunk of the project over the past couple of days, and so I wrote her today on my lunch break, and I was like, yeah, so here's where I'm at. I'm 70% done. Little status update, but I'm feeling burnt out by this project. Like, I would last night put a color down and then just kind of stare at it for a little while, and I'm like, do I do another color? Do I just stop diamond painting for the night? Like, I could keep going, and I kind of want to keep going, but I don't necessarily want to keep going on this. Not that it's a bad project or anything, it's just square drill canvases take a little bit longer for me, and I tend to get antsy and want to work on something where I'm just like, boom, another section done, boom, another section done, which is usually what I use my round drill canvases with a good amount of color blocking to do, but I've just felt my own personal pressure to just keep pushing on Question of Reality. But it looks gorgeous. Every time I finish a section, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. But I think I'm going to take a break. I have a movie night tonight with some friends. We're going to go see that new Alien movie. But tomorrow, we're going to do a morning hike, I believe. And then I'm free until the evening. I'm going to karaoke with a different couple of friends. Ugh, sorry. The one thing about these Hokas that I will complain about is they grab the dirt and gravel, which is good for traction. But when I lift up my right foot, I feel it. I feel my heel tossing a bunch of sand and gravel into the back of my left shoe that's on the ground, and then the reverse happens. So every time I take a step, I feel like I'm just shoveling gravel and sand into the back of my shoes because it likes to hold on to that stuff. It's not muddy by any means here, but I've just noticed that. So I can feel the dirt smacking the back of my ankle and sliding down into my shoe, and I'm just like, ugh. So I'll be ready when we get to the pavement part of this. But anyway, so yeah, Question of Reality. Yeah, these big old squares. That's the reason why I like to have multiple kits going, so I never feel like I'm feeling getting bored or feeling burnt out or feeling like I'm not making quick enough progress. Because this project it is more detailed, so it's taking me a little bit longer, but it looks beautiful. I think, so tomorrow, between the hike and karaoke, I think I'm going to start working on Phases by Yume Art. I mentioned it in my last vlog. That's something I might do. And I was like, maybe I'll pull down Medi, but I think I want to work on Phases a little bit because it's got some enhancement drills. So I might do a couple sections of that, work on Medi for a little bit, and then come back to A Question of Reality and push through it, more of it next week. So once it's done, it's going to be great, but I do this every time with big square drill kits, and most often my big square drill kits are from either Jaded Gem Shop or Diamond Art Club. So I did the same thing with, what was the name of that kit that I did for my aunt? I did a Christmas kit for my aunt last year or the year before, from Diamond Art Club, and it took me months and months to get that done because I kept stopping because I'm like, ugh, this is a lot. I did the same thing with Senorita, a big old square from Jaded Gem Shop that took me almost a year to finish. My custom of Apollo is about 35-40% done, and I haven't touched that in like months, it feels like. And then now I have Garden of Earthly Delights center panel. That's going to take me at least through next year to get done. But yeah, the big square drills, I love them when they're all said and done. But I love the feeling of progress more, I think. And so a color blocking round drill kit, even a confettied round drill kit, they just go faster and I feel more accomplished when I do those. I'm like, whoa, I did 3 sections tonight. Whereas A Question of Reality, I'm like, I did a half a section or I did a full section. I'm tired, I'm done. And I'm doing a lot more adjusting because, the square drills are less forgiving in terms of gapping and stuff. So I love it. I mean, I'm doing a whole paint along about it, but I have been working solely on that kit for, I'd say, the past week, and I need a little break. So we're gonna switch it up for a few days and then I'll come back around to it I got halfway up the bottom up. So I got like halfway through the chimpanzee's face and the android's face, and then I flipped the canvas around, and now I'm working top down to meet myself in the middle, and I'm one section away from being done with the first row across the top. But what I thought I'd be smart, is, you know how your release paper is, I use the Diamond Art Club release paper, it's like a 4x4 square, I think. And so, you know how you have that 4x4 square, you line them up in a row and that's your section. Well, I've been diamond painting further up, like I pull the plastic back even further, and diamond paint even higher than where the release paper stops. And so I'm doing almost 2 sections high, so like an 8-inch high by 4-inch wide square. I don't know what I just did. I thought we'd take a shortcut, now I'm last. Where's the path? I guess we'll just follow this, we'll see what happens. Be on the lookout for snakes, boy. Don't let them get you. So it's taking even longer to complete each section because I'm technically doing 2 sections in one and like reaching really up high to fill it in. So I think at the time I was like, ooh, that'll let me get done with more faster. But in reality, what it's doing is just making each section take so much longer, which I think is feeding into my feeling of not making progress, as opposed to just doing 2 rows individually. So once I finish this section, I'm not going to do that. On the next one, I'm going to stick to the exact size because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long. But yeah, so, but it's fun. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love working with, there's some fairy dust drills in there, and I really like working with those. They don't come up too often, but when they do, they're a lot of fun. The ABs, I have a love-hate relationship with ABs. I think they look good, but I don't like placing them because they like to stick together and it's harder. Like, let's say you're putting 4 ABs down and it's already, that little piece is already surrounded by drills. To really squeak them and wedge them in there, I'm just like, ugh. And they're harder to use with my putty multi-placing because they like to get stuck to it. They're just, ABs are pretty, but they're my least favorite enhancement drill to work with because they're always so fussy, especially with square drill kits. With round drill kits, it's not as bad, but square ABs, I'm just like, ugh. Let's switch these out for like a crystal or something. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It will get done by the end of the month. I'm promising myself. Because my last video of the paint along is supposed to be my finish and review. So if I don't finish it by like the 3rd week of September, so I can film that finish and review and get it edited and posted, I'm gonna have to come up with a different game plan of like, here's my final video and it's a progress video. I'm 95% done, but simply couldn't do it. So yeah, and I'm also trying to get some more sleep generally. So I've been going to bed a little bit earlier. I was just having a rough time with sleep, like getting to sleep and tossing and churning throughout the night. So I'm trying to set like a very specific bedtime, even if it means I'm just laying there, just to get myself more acclimated. Like there was a couple nights where I was like, all right, 9:30 bedtime, and then lay there for half an hour and I'm like, I could diamond paint. I could get up and diamond paint for an hour or 2. And I'm like, no, go to bed. I end up just laying there listening to sleep sounds or something. But hopefully I feel more in a groove. The other thing that was really weird is my phone alarm was not actually going off. It was just vibrating, which doesn't wake me up. I typically keep my phone on the nightstand or in bed with me. So I've got to figure that out. I just turned the silent off, so now it does work, but now I can hear all the clicks when I'm texting and stuff, but I can't figure it out. And the other thing I did is I downloaded an app that when your alarm goes off, you have to finish a puzzle in order for the alarm to turn off. Well, it buzzes as you're doing the puzzle, but if you stop doing the puzzle or try to close the app, the alarm just goes off again. So you have to wake up and finish the puzzle in order for it to actually turn off. And the puzzles take a couple minutes each. So I just used that for the first time this morning because, like I said, my sleep's just been kind of wonky. I've been waking up later than I want to. So I just need to hit the reset button on that and stop staying up later than I should diamond painting. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have for you. No other progress on any other whips other than A Question of Reality. Phases is kitted up, and I'll probably be starting that tomorrow. And then Inner Garden is my only kitted up, not started project. So whips are Gardener of Earthly Delights, Medi, my Custom of Apollo, Phases, and A Question of Reality. So, well, Phases technically, well, it'll be tomorrow, so I'm going to count it as a whip. So five going. But I haven't kitted up anything new that is just going to sit, you know. The only thing that I might be kitting up, because I just have, sometimes you get the bug, is Wizard's Spell for Mia's Wizards paint along in January. So obviously I have plenty of time to do that, but it would be nice to get it kitted up, figure out what enhancement drills I want to incorporate, because I do intend on dressing that up pretty significantly, and then just have my shopping list ready, and then maybe in like November or something I'll make that purchase. So yeah, that's kind of everything. It's nothing too wild going on over in the single and placing world. Like I said, work's going good. Everything else is going good. Apollo's good. We got him a bath this past weekend, over Labor Day weekend. Went and got him scrubbed down because he was looking a little dingy. So he's smelling good and extra fluffy these days. Yeah. And I did have one vlog that I filmed in between the last one, the hiking one, and the one before that. There was another vlog in there, but about 30 minutes into the vlog, the audio just stopped. And so I don't know what happened there, and I hope it's not a trend. But yeah, all of a sudden it just went mute, and the rest of the video was just me walking around with no audio. So yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but I ended up just deleting it. I was like, maybe I should try to remember what I was talking about and like record a voiceover. And I was like an hour-long video clip, and only like 17 minutes of it had audio. And I was like, nah, forget it. It sucks, but it is what it is. And then I had another one that I thought I had recorded, but I think what happened is, oh yes. So I ended up getting new internet, because you've heard me complain about how slow the internet is at the house, and it started to impact work. I was dropping Teams calls. It was disconnecting from Microsoft Outlook, so my email was acting really wonky, and it would connect and then drop and then be really slow. Like, it was really hard to load web pages and stuff. And so I was just getting tired of it. I was so over it. So I called Verizon, and they have 5G internet. So rather than connecting to like cable for your internet, it just comes through like a 5G signal, like your cell phone. And you just put a router up, and it connects directly to the cell towers, and that's how you get your internet. And so it's available in my area. It promised really fast speeds. And so I went ahead and got that last week. I think it might have even been right around the time of my last vlog that I posted, the hiking one. got it set up. It must have been the day before. Got it set up, but it was not working. Like, it wasn't activating, it kept flashing red, and you know, their quick setup guide was not quick or easy. So I was on hold with Verizon for a long time that afternoon after work was over, and I was like, let me go ahead and start recording a vlog. We'll start walking, and then once I'm off hold, then I'll just pause the recording so I can get this taken care of. So that's what I tried to do. I was talking to you guys for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then the hold came off. I was on the phone with this rep, or I don't know what they call them, an assistant, for over an hour. He had to do all of this finagling to get it to work and make sure the accounts were all right. It took forever. So I went on a full walk, got all the way back to the house, and I had to rush back to the house because at one point he's like, are you near the router now? And I'm like, no, I'm like 8 blocks from the house. He's like, okay, well, I'll wait for you to get home because I do need you to read some stuff off of the device for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like running back to the house with Apollo. And then he finally got it all set up. By the time it was done, I was like, yeah, I'm not going back out to finish that vlog. So that one was just like a 10-minute random clip. So I got rid of that one too. So yeah, I had a couple of things that I was trying to get done, but it's okay. It's okay. We're here now, and I do want to get to some comments. I'm going to be doing these videos when I have time and energy to do the responding to comments videos. And then when I don't, I will try to set aside little blocks of time here and there to just type a response to you. So you may see a typed response to a comment, just so I can get caught up, because we've got, I don't want to say hundreds, but it feels like hundreds of comments to get through. So you may see a typed comment, you may hear your comment come up on one of these videos, but either way, I will try to get to them all. I responded to about eight or nine today on my lunch break. I just typed out some quick comments and responses and did the heart and like via text. So I'm going to try to knock them out. That way we're not so far behind now that I'm getting back into the swing of things, because we'll just never catch up if I keep posting more videos and we get more comments coming in. So, but I don't have a ton of plans for content in September other than my paint along content. Like, I don't really have anything that I'm planning on finishing. I don't have any like special projects or anything like that. So there might be a chance that comments will just slow down because there's less content going up. So that might help too, but we'll try to find an equilibrium here throughout September. And then we'll see where we are. But yeah, keep commenting though. Oh, I forgot to mark my water. I'm keeping this plant alive by drinking water. It reminds you to drink water. It's very cute, but if you don't, there's ads, but if you don't mark your water down, the plant will die. I haven't killed one yet, but I have been bad about recording my water intake, and I downed a big old glass of water before we got in the car, so I need to mark that. I think that counts. That was 16 ounces. Okay, cool. All right, little cactus, stay alive. It's like Tamagotchi, but drinking water. Okay. Cool. Let's go to comments and let's scroll. This is going to take a minute, I have a feeling. I guess I could start with the newest. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that, because I have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then sometimes if my phone closes, like the lock screen turns on, it comes back on, I have to re-scroll. That isn't a huge problem when I've got 40 comments or 30 comments or even 50, but like I said, we're probably pushing 100 plus. So if that happens and I have to re-scroll, it's just gonna take too much time. So I'm gonna start new to old. I will get to them all, I promise. Maybe I'll do videos new, typed responses when I sit down in front of the computer, and go old and try to meet in the middle. Maybe that'll be a good way to do it. because scrolling every time is going to be a pain. So let's start new. Sorry for everyone that's like, hey, you skipped mine. I will get to it. Do you want to walk on the sidewalk or on the gravel? It's up to you. You pull me if you want to go on the gravel. Okay. So, going to my vlog episode 137, responding to your comments part 29, which I believe I just posted today. Nancy Reagan says, if a project feels oppressive, you shouldn't feel bad about abandoning it. It's a hobby, not a job. Thank you. I love that. I love that mindset, and that's exactly right. Sometimes it feels there's more obligation behind it because I have a YouTube channel, and like, for instance, A Question of Reality, which I'm not saying that project feels feels oppressive, but I do feel the pressure to get it done by a certain date for content purposes, which is kind of the nature of content creation, but that doesn't feel oppressive. That cross-stitch conversion did feel just like way too much. So yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And then Mia says, hi boys, I love walking around town with the two of you, so I was looking for that dark cloud of smoke that a fire would make, but nothing. I think that lady was a little overreacting maybe. You never commented on my idea of you maybe like Mooka's that has hand rendering in it. Oh, I don't know. I am patiently not waiting for mine to arrive in a million years. At least it feels that way. Hugs to both of you. Well, I'll get to it eventually again, but we're starting newest to oldest, so you get it now. And I may have included it in a video and then not ended up publishing it. What are you doing? Another potty break? Hold on. Let's go, little poopy boy. That was the tiniest little poop. And it was literally a little, I don't want to get too graphic, but it was like a little Hershey's kiss of a poop. And part of me was like, should I just, it was out in the grass. But I've got all these Frisbee golfers watching me, so I was like, fine, I'll pick it up. And I think there's a little trash can or something right up here. Let's see. So yeah, when it comes to Mia, when it comes to hand rendering for Mooka's, I don't like it exclusively. I mean, I really love Gizmonda, and that was kind of hybrid charted, I guess, by Jade, mostly computer charted, if I had to say. And then I have Medi, same situation. It's just, I guess if I saw Medi or Gizmonda completely hand charted, I might like them better, but I don't have a problem with the way that Jade does those types of, those Mookas. I just prefer, they're different different programs, different companies do computer charting slightly differently. I just don't like Distracted by Diamonds computer charting for Mookas. So I don't think I don't have a problem with computer charting from Jade. Who else have I done computer charting for? From? That might be really it. Everywhere else that I shot from does mainly hand charting. I guess I just never really worked on it, but Creativity Squirrel, I think, does computer rendering. But like I said, I don't have a strong preference one way or another. I think I just don't like Distracted by Diamonds computer charting for the two Mookas that I've done or tried to do. And I didn't necessarily like it for Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott either, 100%. I had a problem with those buildings. So, yeah, I guess maybe I'm not a huge fan of anymore of the rendering style from Distracted by Diamonds, unfortunately. But I'd still do I'll still do computer charting of Mookas from other shops and still try it. I just know now that that's not a shop I'm super hot on for Mooka computer charted pieces, unfortunately. So yeah, see, I did get to your comment. I'm trying. If I tried to get through all of those comments and get caught up like as quickly as possible, we'd have to do super long walks like this, like every day for like probably like weeks. I'm trying. Oh, the lady with the fire. So yeah, I mean, she was overreacting a little bit. To be honest, it did spread. That fire did spread and become like a relatively serious wildfire. But at no time was the city of Golden like threatened with evacuation or anything. It was like on the other side of the mountain, and it was mostly a brush fire, and they were able to contain it. I think within 2 or 3 days they were able to get it completely put out, and it was started by lightning. So I mean, good on her for looking out for her neighbors and stuff. But yeah, she like she just came out of the blue and was like, knock on all your neighbors' doors, and she was just like going down the street door to door telling people, and it's like, I just don't know what you want us to do, you know, about it. Like, it is good to know, I suppose, but if something really became serious where it was like, oh, you've got to get out of the house, then we would have heard about it on the news. I don't use it very often, but I do have the Nextdoor app. So if I knew there was a serious fire close enough by, then I'd definitely be checking that. Apollo, come on. Enough playing in the grasses. That's how you get ticks. But yeah, she was, you know, sometimes it's okay to have a little busybody in town. Anyway, going to A Question of Reality Paint Along Week 1 video. Lori Joseph says, very interesting, loved watching this. Oh, thank you, I'm glad you liked it. Then my finish and review of my portrait of Mrs. Alan Bott by Tamara Dillon Pica and Distracted by Diamonds. TX Laura says, Anthony, no words. This is just a stunning image, and her dress steals the show. You have amazing taste, and your swaps made the canvas. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't wait. I still haven't taken that into the office to hang up yet, but I'm going to on Monday. So, yeah. And then going to my unboxing of Scarlet Macaw by Linda Howard Bittner and Diamond Art Club. Sue Ann Matthews says, I own one of these beautiful birds and several diamond painting kits. I will definitely need to check this one out. Thank you, of course. That's awesome. You'll have to, if you ever hear this, have to send me a picture of your birds. That would be really cool. We used to have a little cockatiel when I was growing up as a kid at my grandparents' house, and his name was Sailor. And he would, when you'd walk by, he'd go, he'd be like, hey, look at you. And then, what else did he used to say? He used to say like, te amo, or like something like that in Spanish, or it sounded like it, because my grandpa Spanish was his first language. So he taught him some Spanish, and he loved crackers, like saltines or oyster crackers. He would go berserk if he got one of those. And then my grandpa would let him out intentionally. My grandpa was such a he definitely, I don't know, he liked pulling pranks and being funny and stuff. But when it was time to clean out the bird cage, he would let Sailor out, and Sailor would walk around on the outside of the bird cage for a while. But then the second he saw that Grandpa wasn't looking, he'd fly off and fly upstairs. And then you just hear my grandma going, ah, get him out of here, come get him. And he'd be like sitting on the Virgin Mary, just like whistling at her and squawking. She's like, get Sailor, come get him. So we'd have to go And my grandpa would have to go and coax him onto his hand and bring him back into the cage once he was done cleaning. But he did it intentionally, like make my grandma freak out. This bird was running throughout the house. Oh, yeah.
For a dog's meat.
Yeah, that's fine. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Oh, good dog. Perfect.
See ya. Come on, baby boy. Let's go. Off leash, don't love it, but whatever. Okay. But yeah, thank you for the comment. And then going back to my A Question of Reality Paint Along Week 1, Dolphin Lover 33, we'll just say Dolphin Lover says, awesome video. You're so talented. Love watching this and can't wait to learn more about Christopher Lavelle and his art pieces. Yeah, of course. Thank you for watching. I don't know how much more you'll learn, quote unquote. In retrospect, now that I have the video that goes up on Sunday done, and I already have the idea for the one after that, I just haven't filmed it. We don't go too much into like a specific deep dive. This will most likely go up after the week 2 video. So I guess I can talk about it, but yeah, I had Rachel Ray and Mr. Ray on to talk about A Question of Reality because they do a series called Theory Tuesdays, and that was one of the big videos series that got me hooked on Rachel Ray's content. Sorry. She's great as it is, but I love Theory Tuesdays because I love hearing about all the different conspiracy theories and cryptids and UFOs and stuff. And I love that Mr. Ray is always so passionate about it and pretty knowledgeable about it. And then Rachel is also excited about it, but she brings some some balance to the conversation and some realistic perspectives. So I love their conversations because I feel like she always has a little bit of side eye when she's listening about some of these wild theories, like, and I feel like she has a really good gauge for some of the underlying reasons why that might be a theory, that might have to do with, you know, cultural stereotypes or cultural differences, or like she can kind of see through the conspiracy theory and think, why do people think this is a theory? Is it because of pre-existing prejudice? You know, why do people feel this way about this thing? So I love that she brings that perspective to the conversation so it just doesn't turn into just wild theories for wild theories' sake. So I asked her pretty much right when I decided I wanted to do this paint along if she and Mr. Ray would be interested in sitting down and chatting about A Question of Reality, because there's so many themes in there that I think fall in line with some of the stuff they discuss on Theory Tuesday. And I just wanted to pick both of their brains and just kind of get their thoughts on it. And so we've been planning this since the spring, I think, and I've been able to keep it a secret this entire time. I only told Mia. It's the only person I told. Maybe I told Katie, but I told Mia because she asked specifically. She's a nosy Nelly. And yeah, so that was so much fun. Oh, come here.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Have a good day.
You too. So yeah, that was so much fun, but we really didn't dive into like specifics in data. It was more, in learning about the artist necessarily. I just left it completely open. I had a couple of questions written down, but I didn't plan or prep or like, you know, feed them questions ahead of time. I just had a couple written down, topics that I wanted to make sure we discussed. And Rachel had a couple things that she wanted to mention after looking at the image. But other than that, it was completely just off the cuff. So we didn't do any like crazy serious research and deep dives. It was just a fun chat. So we have that. And then next week's video, ideally by the time you see this, week 3 will still be upcoming. Hold on. Quite the little cyclist party today. So next week's video will be just story time of a personal regard. Story time of a personal regard that I don't remember how many vlogs ago, but I told you all in a vlog that I was about to dive into a story and I was like, nope, I'll save it. And don't let me forget when we started Question of Reality that I told you I would tell you a story that I probably wouldn't normally tell otherwise. Well, I'm gonna make that my week 3 video and try to make it fun. But we'll see how it goes over. I'm very curious how it'll be received. But yeah, I have a personal story to tell, and it relates to some of the imagery in A Question of Reality. And then the last video will be a finish and review. So we're not gonna really dive too much deeper into like the life and times of Christopher Lavelle, because there's honestly not a ton that I could research outside of like his About Me bio on his webpage. And then I also found a few interviews that he did talking about his artwork, but the interviews quickly would go towards the specific subject. So he'd be doing an interview with some indie music website or magazine talking about a particular piece of artwork that he did for a band. And so a lot of those interviews would quickly go into like, what's your favorite band? What kind of music do you like? What inspired you to work with this group, this artist? Like, it was all about the music and like how the music inspired the art. And I didn't even find one of those for A Question of Reality. I only found him for a few of his pieces. And then he's also done a lot of artwork for fashion labels and fashion brands. And so I found a couple of little short articles about some of the work that he did for fashion brands. But once again, it was more about the clothes as opposed to like his life. So there wasn't a ton there. And I did reach out to Christopher Lavelle via his webpage months ago on the like contact me page where you probably could request commissions and stuff, and just let him know what I was doing and asked if he would have time to tell me a little bit more about himself or be willing to do a video, and I never heard anything. So, and I think I even did the same with Neptune Project. I think I wrote to them on Instagram maybe and never heard anything back. So I did the best I could with the minimal information that was pertinent to the paint along. So now we're gonna just be analyzing the artwork and just kind of looking at it, you know, and just being like, you know, like with Rachel and Mr. Ray, ooh, that's cool. Did you notice this? Like that kind of thing. And then the next video will be a personal tale. And then the last one will be a finish and review. So we're not going any deeper than we already have. Just keep that in mind. So it's not a heavily researched endeavor, but I hope you still have fun. I hope you still have fun. Okay. Well, thank you for the comment. Let's watch out. We've got scooters coming down. Scooting. Well, thank you. Okay, so going to my vlog, episode 136. The diamond technician says, you realizing a project no longer bringing you joy and stopping before you become miserable with it is a trait I wish more people, and especially creators, had. I feel some people think they are giving up if they don't finish a project that is massive and stressful for them, even if it means they end up being jaded with the hobby. You can always tell the creators who are truly loving and enjoying the craft, and those who no longer have that joy in their voice for the craft, due in part to not knowing when to throw in the towel. I think it takes a very balanced individual to be able to admit it's not for you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I've seen that too, where people just seem a little like over what they're working on, and I never want to be that person, and I never want to like force it. I don't think I ever would. I mean, I don't earn, just like another commenter said, I think that was Nancy, said it isn't a job, and it certainly is not. But I guess I could see myself maybe pushing through regardless if it was like, you're being paid specifically to work on this kit, or, you know, it will negatively impact your ability to pay bills from your ad revenue or whatever, if you decide to throw in the towel. But that's just not my situation, so I don't really have to worry about that. Which is a good thing, which is a really good thing. But yeah, I also don't begrudge people for feeling like I spent the money on this, especially if you're in a position where you don't have the flexibility to just buy a new kit or start on something new, or just give up on something that you spent hard-earned money on. And so even though you might be pushing through, what's going on with your little ears? Come here. What's wrong? Let's see. Let's see. You just itchy? You just sweaty in there? Just make sure you don't have anything stuck. Okay, I think you're just itchy. If you need to stop and sit and itch, you can. Yeah, so I get it why people do push through a lot of times in the face of not being happy with it, because it will probably look pretty good in the end of the day. You know, like, I don't think Primrose, had I finished it, would have been just atrocious and like everyone that looked at it would be like, ugh, you know. It would have been, to a non-diamond painter, fine. It looks like all the other ones you do, Anthony, like big whoop. But for me, it was more about just like enjoying the overall process, I guess, rather than the finish line, I suppose, for that one. And the same with Spring. So it balanced in that sense, thank you. But I think what it also speaks to is the imbalance of overbuying and over-consuming diamond paintings. And that's something that I'm personally trying to work on. Hold on. So yeah, I think it is an imbalance of being irresponsible with money. Because if I had just bought a single Distracted by Diamonds kit, just had Primrose realize those issues 2 years ago when I actually bought it, then that probably would have led me to not buy several other kits without any regard to, could there potentially be an issue? You know what I mean? So that is a lesson learned of pace yourself, start working on a project. And granted, I had worked on several other Distracted by Diamonds pieces that I did enjoy, so I don't know if that necessarily would have kept me from purchasing more of them, but I probably would have been more reluctant to get Spring had I seen Primrose, or Primrose had I seen Spring, you know what I mean? And that would have saved me the money there. The other thing with the cross-stitch conversions is I thought I was big and bad finishing Medusa in a pretty good time frame and really liking that, and then immediately going and turning that dial up to 15 with a massive, highly technical kit with a bajillion colors, without thinking, maybe just continue to kind of make it hard, but don't don't intentionally go out and be like, what's the hardest one I could do? You know, the chances of getting burnt out on something like that are just inherently very high, you know, be it a cross-stitch conversion or not. And so intentionally signing up for that intense of a project was probably a big misstep because I do not have the wherewithal to do something that crazy anymore. At least not right now. So I definitely could have, had I been more responsible and more conservative with my diamond painting spending, I could have saved myself hundreds of dollars in the time that I've started diamond painting. Be it taking everyone's advice and not going with paint with diamonds. And I did it because I was like, that was very early on when I started diamond painting, but I was like, how bad could it really be? Come on. And it was really bad. And so that was, you know, $200 something. And then my Uniquely Yours Down Under canvases, I went straight in. I mean, this one was really, I would say this one wasn't that one wasn't my fault, because it did come recommended by several like larger channels, that shop. It was on the list of like approved shops. And I only got 2 kits, I think, from them. But I threw both of those away in the end. And then just that desire to try shops that you haven't tried before, so you have something new to share on the channel, that's so much riskier than just going with the ones you know and love. Like, I'm all about trying new shops for sure, but you just have to be careful, read reviews, and just use your best judgment. Like, when I bought my DIY Moon Shop kit, I kind of already knew that they had a reputation for like having some issues, you know, but I was like, I have to see for myself because of the channel. Same with Treasure Studios art. I kind of knew that there were some issues, but I was like, I want to see for myself and for the channel, you know. So in hindsight, I could have just skipped all that and said, nope, Jaded Gem Shop, Diamond Art Club, diamond painting shop, and very rarely will I delve into other areas. I've been so lucky enough to have shops like Diamond Painting Shop send me kits to review free of charge, so I could get a feel for their quality, and that's very low risk because I'm not spending anything out of pocket. And the same with the Creativity Squirrel. So I'm very lucky in that sense. Not everybody has that. And I think there's a lot of value in the channels that do try other shops to share with everyone. That way you do get an honest look at the quality and stuff. I just don't know if that's me and like what I want to provide as far as content. I like doing vlogs. I like doing enhancement kits and showing people how I enhance them. And I like sharing my love for the craft and my love for like the shops that I really, really enjoy. So that's why you'll see a lot of Diamond Art Club. Consistently good quality. I don't have to necessarily work, like if I like the image, I know that the size is going to be right, the rendering is going to look good, coloring is going to be good. If I buy from Jaded Gem Shop, I know that the rendering is going to be incredible. Size, that's really my call, but she does put recommended sizes. I always go with the biggest, you know me. But size is going to be on point. All of that stuff's there. I just know that going into it, you know. And now Diamond Painting Shop, same thing. I know every time I pull a, oops, snake. I think it's dead, but let's go around it. Looks like it might be alive. Oh, it's alive. That's just a baby. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't really, there is no right answer for me. I will continue to try new shops, but it's usually after seeing somebody else provide a review and give their feedback, and then I'll make that decision. And I'm so glad that we have content creators out there that do that for us. And that's, I feel almost obligated to be that person that kind of is the guinea pig for new shops and stuff, because I have a diamond painting channel, but I don't think I am that person. I'd rather confirm what someone else is saying about a shop and have consistently good experiences. I'd prefer to always have good news to share with you based off of making like really specific decisions on where I spend my money. But sometimes even that doesn't prevent you from having a bad time, because somebody else might have really loved a shop or a project, and then, you know, quality changes or my expectations are different or what I think is important is different. So I'll do my best to provide more data points for you to help you make a decision. But if I have a crystal ball right now and think about my own spending and what I want, like what I want to do as far as like buying more diamond paintings, I'm very, very, not unmotivated, but I'm not, I'll just say this, I'm not looking at a ton of shops right now to shop from. I'm trying to keep my dollars in my purse and just work on what I got. And if I am gonna break that to buy something, I really do want it to be from a shop that I know I'm gonna have a good, a good experience with. So when I am looking to shop for diamond paintings, I could see myself focusing more on Diamond Painting Shop and Creativity Squirrel, Diamond Art Club, and Jaded Gem Shop. That's just the long and short of it. So yeah, it's a weird place to be, because I'm like, I want to share more shops, but I'm like, I also don't want to potentially waste any time and money. So it's like, well, then what do you do? I think for right now, I'm in a holding pattern. It's really got to be something special before I buy a new kit right now. I've been very tempted several times recently by Diamond Art Club and Jaded Gem Shop and Diamond Painting Shop. I've been very tempted recently to place a number of orders, but I'm gonna keep waiting. I really want to see Apocalyptic Garden come out from Diamond Art Club. I really want to and need to see that kit released. And then Jade released 4 Muka pieces recently. La Tosca, La Dame de something, something, something. And we always get turned around over here, Apollo. How do we end up doing this? When I go the opposite way, I'm able to figure it out, but then when I go this way, I get lost. I don't think this is the right way. We'll see. And then Apotheosis of the Slavs, I believe, is another one. And then Amethyst, all from Muka. I sent those over to her, I want to say about a month ago, asking if she would, no, not a month ago, a few weeks ago, asking if she would do a customs of those. And then she ended up just releasing them on the shop, and I was like, yay. And I think Mia picked up one of them, and then I plan on getting La Tosca and Apotheosis as my first 2. Eventually I will get them all, but I want to start with those 2 just in case I need them for Mukamania. But I really wanted her to do Amethyst from the Gems series, because I'll just be straight up with you. I want to do that for my mom. It's got some of my mom's favorite. My mom and my grandma have similar favorite colors and flowers. So lavender, the color, and then iris for the flower. And so both of those are featured in that muka. And so I really wanted to, let's go this way. Oh, okay. Or you can trip me so we can go a different way. You want to just come down here and see what's going on? We're completely lost now. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I get turned around every time I go this way, but I do. Amethyst is supposed to be for my mom. So I originally got that kit in Square from Enabler's Outpost, but unfortunately I no longer am I'm no longer willing to support that shop. So I ended up getting rid of that kit and getting rid of all my diamond painting pens from them because I just don't want to have to say their shop name on my channel. So I was kind of bummed because I didn't want to request that canvas done as a custom from any other shop because I didn't want it to come off like, oh, you know, you won't use theirs, but you'll get somebody else to do it. I see, which is the truth, but I didn't want to put any other shops in that position where it's like the only reason he's asking me is because he won't buy from Enabler's Outpost. But I figured I'd just put it in there, and if Jade or anybody else came back and said no, not touching that, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to create a rift between small businesses, I would have been like, understood, no problem, I'll just suck it up, or I'll find, eventually someone will release it in their regular collection. But Jade put it up and I was like, oh good, I'm glad that my worry about that was not founded. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up so I can actually work on it from a shop I like to support. So I'll be getting that one too. Whew, we've already done 3 miles, but long response to all of that. But anyway, all of that's to say, I get why people push through in the face of not necessarily loving it. Either you need to for content, or you have to because it's not like you can just be like, oh, well, here's another couple $100. That one was a bust. So I get it. And I'm very privileged, I suppose, or lucky to be in a position where I don't have that that need in any regard, so I can just move on. It's just a personal hit because I'm like, that could have been money put towards something smarter, you know. But what are you gonna do? Thank you for the comment. Going to my cross-stitch conversion series, episode 2, Anna McLean says, lifesaver. Thank you, of course. Thank you for watching. I don't even really remember what's all in that video, but I'm glad it was helpful. Can we keep moving, please? And then going to my Question of Reality Paint Along Week 1 video, Avery says, very cool video. I love all of Christopher's work. It's always stunning. Yeah, I agree. I really like, I like a lot of his artwork as artwork. I just don't know, for me, if I'd be willing to diamond paint, spend the time diamond painting it all, especially though, you know, he has a lot of grayscale, muted tones, black and white or tan and white. I just don't know how I'd get along with those, especially in those bigger sizes. That's one of the reasons why I gave up Medusa, and I haven't really bought anything else of that ilk from Christopher Lavelle. But A Question of Reality is very colorful, and I really like it. So, yeah. Well, let's get up here and see what we're dealing with, and maybe we'll turn around, because I'm lost. Okay. What do you think, Poopy? Are we lost? This is a fun little thing. It's like a Foursquare court or a stage or something. It's interesting. Oh, okay. Let's take a little break and then we'll head back. We've already done 3 miles, so if we flip around, that'll put us at 6. And I do have a movie to get to tonight, so. Thank you for the comment, Avery. And then going to my unboxing of Zodiac from Alphonse Mucha. Do you want some water? Let's hook you up. Look at my little rainbow bottle I bought. It's got a spray mister so I can mist Apollo too. Okay, open up. Good boy. Good boy. Keep going. Want some more? No? Okay. Is that good? Do you want some mist? Ooh, misted. Refreshing. He's like, can you stop doing that? He likes when I get ready in the mornings or before we leave to go on a hike. I usually am applying sunscreen in the morning, and I have my mist toner, like a mist toner that I spray on before I put on sunscreen. And then when I reapply sunscreen before we go on a hike, I usually mist myself with a toner before reapplying sunscreen, just for a little hydration. And I always give him some too. I'm like, mist baby. And he just like puts his little chin up and lets the mist come down. And it's all stuff that, I mean, it's not gonna poison him or anything. It's just like hyaluronic acid and glycerin and stuff. It's essentially just watery fluid. But yeah, he likes the spray. And I learned now that when I take him to the dog wash, I started doing this a couple dog washes ago, that when I wet him down, he doesn't like it when I use like the shower spray or anything more intense spray. He puts up with it, but you can tell he's just uncomfortable. But when it's a garden hose that they have at the dog washing place, so when I set it to mist, he loves that. He'll let me just mist him down until he's like soaking wet, and then I can put the shampoo on him, as opposed to like hitting him with the stronger spray nozzle. So now I've learned that he likes a gentle mist, little baby. And he's got his, we've talked about it before, but he has his Dior fragrances that he's been wearing. But once those are all done, those were all free samples, mind you. Once they're all done, I found Dolce & Gabbana just released a dog-specific fragrance. It's called Fefe, which is the name of one of the owners or the founders of, or the CEO, whatever, owners of Dolce & Gabbana. His dog is named Fefe, and so there is a new fragrance out that's alcohol-free, specific for dogs, that I will be getting Apollo as a Christmas present. Does 9 at the Denver Theater work for you? Okay, that's 2.5 hours. I should be able to make it back. We've been going for 75 minutes, so yeah, that'll give me time to get home, freshen up. Perfect. Let me just respond to him. Yes, sir. What's the Denver Theater? That's very vague. There's plenty of movie theaters in Denver, unless there's one specifically called the Denver Theater. Come on, come on, come on, Sniffy. Let's keep moving. Okay, sorry, but yeah, Fefe by Dolce & Gabbana. Look it up. It's a really pretty bottle. Okay. Oh, 16th Street. Oh, okay. Got it. Works for me. Do we need to get specific tickets next to each other? If so, I can Venmo you. If they have open seating, I will get mine here shortly. Okay. Okay. Anyway, going into my unboxing of Zodiac by Alphonse Mucha. Miller Time Mama says, I have my eye on this Mucha, but I'm still debating between purchasing it from DAC and Jaded Gem Shop. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Jaded Gem Shop, but the DAC rendering does look good. I could go either way. Here's what I like about the Jaded Gem Shop version. let me start with the DAC version. Here's what I like about the Diamond Art Club version. I bought it, so clearly I liked it. It is not too crazy of a size. The color count seemed reasonable, and there's a pretty significant amount of color blocking. Now, I don't know if all of those also pertain to the Jaded Gem Shop hand-charted one, because I haven't gotten a chance to take a good look at it. But the reasons why I liked the DAC one was because I wanted something a little bit more hand-charted, and I thought they did a pretty good job. Having said that, now that Jade has her own hand-charted version of that same kit, I would most likely have gotten it from Jade in retrospect, because I love Jade. But also, she did her best to hand render all of that handwritten scroll, like handwriting that's on that kit at the bottom. She did her best to hand chart all of that, whereas DAC decided that it just wasn't practical, and they did this like cherub angel outline in that space. So they got rid of all the text and they just did like that cherub angel kind of outline, which I don't hate. It's fine, I bought it. But if I had to do it again, I'd probably go with the Jade hand rendered one, because I would want it, that's closer to the original image. So that's why I would go for that one. But either way, I think you'll be happy. Also, I don't know what the price is for the Jaded Gem Shop one, but if price is a concern and shipping costs are a concern, DAC might be a more affordable option. In fact, let me pull it up. Oh, you know what? It looks like she didn't put the text in there. It's just blank space where you color block white. So there's the original. So you can see there's all this text written in there for every month. She just left it blank, which also is still technically closer, but I thought she had put at least something in there. The other thing that she did is up here, she did a bunch of color blocking up here on this ridge, whereas the original has a bunch of very small writing. So she got rid of that because it was just too hard to hand chart, which makes sense. It makes sense. Let's look at, oh, I wanted to see what her pricing was on that. It is still, it's $94.99, so it's like $20 more expensive than the Diamond Art Club one. Plus, if you're getting free shipping at Diamond Art Club. Let's look at the unpixelated one, or the unhand charted one. See, now this has the writing computer chart rendered into it, and it has all of the detail of the writing. It's not legible, of course, but at least it looks like something is there. But that's in an 80 by 110, so much bigger. So if we're gonna pick a hand, if we want to do a hand charted one, or pixel charted is what Jade called it, it's a draw for me. It's a draw for me. I think that $20 would make me go for the Diamond Art Club one. Because now that I've seen how she hand charted some of those finer details, it really is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other at that point. Hold on, come on. So yeah, it really is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other at that point, because they both are missing some detail there, which makes sense. Because I wanted it hand charted and wanted something that wasn't so crazy confetti, even though I don't mind it, I'd probably go with the DAC one. Maximum detail, my suggestion would be to go with the non-hand charted one if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, I think I'd stick with the DAC if I was given the option between her hand charted and theirs. Simply because it's a little bit less expensive and I can score some free shipping. So yeah, I hope this leads to somewhere. I don't know where we're going. Okay, I know we're headed in the right direction of the car. It's just, is there a path to get there from here? I don't know. Who can ever be sure? We're kind of just out in the fields right now. Oh, it does look like there's a start to some kind of trail. We'll see. Uncharted territory, everyone. We'll see what this does. Battery's looking decent still. I've noticed that the battery lasts a lot longer now that I'm not doing 4K recording, which is kind of nice. Anyway, going to my finish and review of Lotus Koi Fish, the part 2 version. Miller Time Mama says, really enjoyed this video series. Oh, thank you. My finish and review of Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott. J-Pat says, don't worry, the background and fur came through just fine, and the sheer part of the dress over her leg looks how it's supposed to me. It looks like she's got a sequin dress now instead of a satin one, and it looks so good. Everything came together. I even think the skin tone works, especially with the really deep shade she's got on her lips. You need the contrast with the skin, I think, or it would look too washed out. Really nice work. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think that I agree. The skin tone could have been redone, reworked, but given that style of artwork, I don't think it was necessary. And you're right, that contrast is kind of important to keep. So I'm so happy with it. It's like, I don't know if it's my favorite finish of the year, but it's definitely one of my favorites, and it's definitely one of my top 2 favorite Distracted by Diamonds kits I've ever done. I'd say between that one and Masks by W.T. Benda, which Jade also released, I don't know how long ago, but fairly recently Jade released that. And so I almost want to get it again and do it a la Jade to see the difference. But redoing the same kit over again is at the bottom of my of my to-do list right now. It'll be a very long time before I even start looking into doing 2 different or 3 different zodiacs, or oh, I know where we are. We're on the other side of the ditch though, and I want to get across. This is really interesting. I didn't know I could get over here from here. Apollo, I'm so scared. Are we gonna do this? Hold on, everyone. No, Apollo, we can't do that. We can go down and up, but I'm not going across. You wanna try? Do you wanna try it? I don't think you wanna try it. Let's go up a little bit further. I was gonna try to do a balancing act to cross that pole, but it's a metal pole, and you know, he's got slippery little paws. So we're just gonna go down into the canal and across, because there's no water in it right now. Hold on, everyone. I gotta... Which way should we go? I just don't want to go in the random field either because of snakes. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? Don't look at me like that. I guess we're going down. Oh my gosh. I guess we're going down. We're not crossing that though. That's too scary. If you fall, you'd break your little... Oh my God. Okay, can you manage this? I'm so scared right now. Hold on, everyone. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Good boy, good boy. Okay, now we gotta climb out. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, everyone. I was gonna try to balance beam across that, and I'm like, one wrong move and we're both going down. I'm sorry. Are you okay? He's like, what the heck was that, Dad? Okay, now I know where we are. We might have to hustle to... I still have 2.5 hours. 2 hours. It's probably gonna take about an hour to get back to the car, and then I'm gonna have to hustle to get Apollo dropped off and fed, and then straight to the movie theater. Okay. If I go this way, will it be faster? 87 minutes. Yeah, it will. Let's go back the way we came. Now this will be a good way to... Oh, look. Someone's in one of those trikes. It's like the little powered fan seat with the parachute attached to it. How cool! He's really close to those power lines, though. That scares me. Sir? I swear to God, I'm not going to watch someone get into an accident today. No, he's landing. Oh, thank God. I was like, sir? Sir? You can't hear me, but please. I don't want to see that today. Okay, so yeah, if we go this way, that'll be 90 minutes to the car, maybe shorter since we're not going to go through the neighborhood again. It'll give me 30 minutes. I'm going to be late to the movie, that's just the bottom line, but not by too much. I'll miss the previews. You can hear my steps going faster. Okay. But yes, thank you so much for the comment on that finish. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Then going to A Question of Reality Week 1 video. Jenny Roden, Habik says, very informative, love this, thank you. And Yvette Sutton says, wow, Anthony, this is great. I loved watching and can't wait for the next one. I bought this one to do for your paint along, and so glad I did. I waited for this to start before I began my canvas. Yay! Well, you have to give me an update on how things are going for you on that project. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. We've got 3 more videos coming your way. Well, I guess 2 more at the time of watching this. Chocolate Diamond says, outstanding video. I couldn't look away, waiting for what was next. You are so talented. Oh, thank you. That was a lot of fun. To be honest, it doesn't take me too long to write the scripts. That's kind of some of the easier part, is writing out the script. After I've, started doing research and stuff. Reading the script takes a little bit of time because I'm always stumbling and having to re-record. And when you write your script, you write like a page of notes or a page of script. And I always think, oh, that's plenty. I've got all these paragraphs here. And then I go to read it. I'm like, that was like 5 minutes. So I have to kind of edit it up a little bit. So it kind of, I don't want them to be 4-minute videos. I'm trying to shoot for around 10. The next one, or the one that you just saw from with Rachel and Mr. Ray, was obviously longer because that was more like a whip and chat. But the one after that will also be probably another shorter one, and then your finish and review. But yeah, it's the editing or recording the audio, the script, takes a little bit of time, and then it's the editing that takes the longest, like pulling all of those video clips and stitching them together, and then overlaying the music, and then overlaying my audio on top of that, and then overlaying the picture-in-picture images on top of that. That takes hours. Even for like a 10-minute video, I would say for every 1 minute, it takes 10 minutes or 15 minutes of time to edit. So like a 10-minute video will take an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours to put together, because you have to download all the audio clips and adjust all the volume levels, and it's just a lot. But I like it. I enjoy doing the editing for those. It's always more time consuming than I give myself time for, and then I'm always like, oh, rush. But the one that you just saw with Rachel Ray and Mr. Ray was faster because I didn't have to do a ton of clips and stuff, which is nice. Another fun fact, you'll have heard it, in the last video and in upcoming videos, is my brother did some custom music for this series. So we didn't align the time right, so I was able to include it in my first video, or the kickoff, or the announcement video. We just didn't align our timing, but he did get it to me, so you'll be hearing that in the one you just watched, this past one, week 2, and then subsequent ones will include the custom audio that my brother, who is a DJ, did for me, and I'll be making sure to shout him out throughout all of that. But that was really cool too, and I've asked him to start working on, or looking into working on, a custom some custom audio for Mooka Mania, incorporating like swing or classical music in with electronic music, which he seemed really excited by. So yeah. Okay, so it looks like, so we come down this dirt road and then we turn right. I understand that, but where did I go wrong coming this way? I think I was down there somehow. I just have to remember we turn onto a dirt road. I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. We must have just walked right past this and I didn't even turn. Must have. So yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. Get some custom music for this paint along, as well as subsequent ones. I paid him. I paid him for his time. So hopefully he'll keep doing that. It would be really cool to keep having music. I'd love to have my entire channel, like intros and everything, done by him. Of course, he wouldn't be able to do whip-in chats because I'd be like, hey, I need a 2-hour mix for me walking around and hiking. Can you work on that for the next month? So yeah, but anyway, thank you for the comment. Hold on. Hi. Okay. Christina 406 Diamond says, thank you for a great week 1 video. I have my canvas kitted up and ready to go, but I may not get to work on it yet. I'm having bad carpal tunnel. Oh no. Issues right now and waiting on surgery this winter, so my diamond painting time is very limited. But even if I do get to start on mine, don't get to start on mine yet, I will watch weekly. Oh, well, thank you. And I hope everything works out for you. That sounds painful and awful. Yeah, ugh. My mom's dealt with that kind of stuff before. My current boss has had surgery on her wrists, I think both of her wrists. And so she has like all ergonomic keyboards and a mouse and everything. It sounds awful. So I hope that you're feeling okay, and I hope that that surgery goes well. No pressure to work on this kit. You can follow along and it'll be just fine. Very casual. Thank you. And then my Lesto Travel says, great video. I've had this on my wish list. I've been influenced to get it so I can follow along. So much to analyze. The astronaut with the red flag is one thing that sticks out. I'm looking forward to more videos. Thank you so much. Yeah, the astronaut made me think about it when I first looked at the image, but I never took stock of the fact that it's a red flag. I just always assumed it was just a US, a US flag. Like I always thought it was supposed to represent like the conspiracy around the moon landing being faked or staged. But then Rachel and Mr. Ray called it out as being red, and I was like, I wonder what that means. So yeah, I didn't really even pay too much mind to it until they called it out. So it's interesting that you caught that too. Jolly Roger says, very well edited, Anthony. Thank you. Going to my unboxing of Lost Oasis by Nathaniel Mortensen and Diamond Art Club. Kathy Getchell says, oh my goodness, I wish there was a laughing reaction button. I forget. I think that was the video that I was talking about, the diamond painting pen, the new one from Diamond Art Club that I think is a little iffy, in my opinion. I did use it. I did use it for a portion of a diamond painting session. I don't know when. I think I was working on A Question of Reality with it. Maybe also Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott. I just didn't like it. It's too light in my hand. It's too small and too narrow. I like a chunky pen. It's too light in my hand, too small and narrow. I felt like it was squeezing out too much of the putty, so I was constantly have to picking off little pieces of it. It just didn't feel. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled with my heavy resin pens. It just doesn't have enough substance for me to feel like. It's almost like you've been holding a bowling ball your whole life in your hand, and then someone puts a feather in it, and it's just like I felt like I was just like my hand. I just don't know. It's not substantial enough for me. I did not enjoy it, so I kept it just in case I need to talk about it more formally in like a whip and chat in the future or something. But I don't have any intentions on using those pens that come in the kits, similar to how I felt before. Hi. If they were able to turn one of their premium pens that they have sold separately on their site, make one of those into a refillable style pen, I'd probably be more apt to pay extra to try one of those. But yeah, I don't. Sorry, Diamond Art Club, but I believe that pen is a miss. Swing and a miss, but that's my own personal opinion. Kathy goes on to say, I found the pen to be more comfortable than I thought it would be, although I still plan on covering it with foam, but I'm waiting to get one of the premium tips. I shift my drills a lot and the plastic tip isn't too great for that. Oh, yeah, it's a little too wide of a cone at the base. And I got that feeling too when I placed my drills. Like I couldn't really make adjustments or kind of push drills around with it. It felt a little delicate. But I'm glad that you like how it feels in the hand. It's a little slim for me. But yeah. Then going to my A Question of Reality paint along video, Mia says, strands of DNA. I can't seem to find that in this picture. I do find a myriad of other themes, but not that one. Please help me out here. This artwork is so interesting and I seem to find more themes the more I look. Looking forward to next week. Love you. Love you too. And then someone replied, Artemis says, it's in the water under the chessboard. Yes, just in the water underneath and to the left when you're looking at it, of the human shadows, there's DNA strands kind of coming up towards the people. So yeah, they're not full strands in the rendering. They're just like twisty figures. I feel like they could have done something to make it look a little bit more DNA-y, but I think they did the best that they could given the amount of detail and the size. But yeah. And then my vlog episode 136, Mia has a couple comments. Mia says, hey again, I love you and your videos. You know that. I really enjoy that we get to join you in Apollo on the walks and hikes. Also, you and I both ramble. Oh, over here. Okay. It's a real bake party today. Come on. Come on. Come on. There's no need to pull me. We're both going in the same direction. He wasn't pulling me forward. He's trying to pull me off into the grass. Also, you and I both ramble and end down a million rabbit holes only to never being able to get back on track. Yes, isn't that the truth? Without wanting to self-promote, when I started my channel, I was thinking it could be a lot of fun to be monetized with YouTube. But today I'm happy just as it is. I have no need to grow big so that I can make money off my subs. As to Patreon, I'm not a fan. I have joined a few memberships here on YouTube, but they are very cheap, like $5 a month. I'm not willing to pay big money for an extra video or something like that, but that's just my opinion. This month's event is going to be a lot of fun, and I do look forward to the second video since I know who it is. By the way, I've ordered my Muka, and I can't wait for it to arrive. I ended up ordering it in the biggest size, 60 by 180. Whoop, whoop. So it will take me a year to finish. The plan is to save the rest of it for Summer with the Masters 2025. That's a good plan. That karaoke night sounded like a lot of fun, and I would love to hear you sing a song, maybe just send it on Instagram. That way YouTube is out of the loop. Okay, I can keep talking forever, but I will end it here. Love you both, and we will talk soon. Yes, we will. I think we've been chatting since you left that comment, but oh look, there's another one. These things are wild. I just don't like how close he is to these power lines. That freaks me out. Huh. Interesting. Okay, Apollo. We've got 2 hours and 7 minutes to get back. We've done 4.5 miles. They come in hot when they land. That is wild. Oh my gosh, don't break your little legs. Oh. I guess they must have, like, I don't even know. I feel like he came in real hot. I guess you don't have to stand on your own 2 legs because you've got that engine and everything attached to you. There must be like wheels on it or something that you land on. If you know how those contraptions work, you'll have to let me know. I assume they like landed on their feet and did the running thing like normal parachuters, but they have like a giant fan and engine attached to them, so that doesn't make sense. But yeah, a lot of, hold on. Sorry, Mia, I've got to make sure I respond to everything. So yeah, when you started your channel, you were hoping to, become a member and all that stuff. I mean, I think that's kind of the hope of a lot of people, is to, get to that point. So you do get a little bit of a kickback, because it is nice to have a little something for the time and energy it takes to not only record videos, but to edit them and post them and respond to comments and engage. And there's a lot of fulfillment out of just doing those things and building a little community around you. And I think that's the biggest, part of it. But it's also nice to have a little extra money to maybe upgrade a camera or get a new light or pick up a diamond painting kit or some accessories, and just kind of supplement the costs that are associated with having a channel. Like, even if you decide you want to do lives and you want to do StreamYard, that's like $50 a month. Let's say you want to do Canva, so you can make your little thumbnails and your this and that. That's how I do all the videos that's how I've been doing all the videos for this paint along, all those video clips of the galaxies and all that stuff. That all comes from Canva. That's $15 a month. Epidemic Sound, where I get all my music from, that's $50 a month. So it adds up. So it's nice to have, get to a point with your channel that you're able to kind of supplement some of that with your AdSense revenue. So I totally get it. And I don't begrudge anyone for pushing or setting goals or being, having that on their mind and being ambitious with their channel. There is nothing wrong with it. I mean, that's how you get really good content, and that's what encourages people, or can be an encourager for people to do the best that they can with their channel. So I have zero issues with that. I think where it starts to feel a little weird is when a content creator makes the channel about making money off their channel. You know what I mean? Like, the content that we're watching is learning, getting all the facts and figures about how someone intends to start making money. So that's where it starts to rub me, I guess, a little bit of the wrong way, is like, you can have all those ambitions and goals and all that stuff, but the channel should really be, connecting with your audience. And, a lot of times people like, you want to get up there? Try it. Whoa, it's all sandy. You know what I mean? Like, that all of that stuff will come, the monetary stuff will come alongside you being yourself and sharing your life, or whatever it is, the diamond painting, whipping chats, all that stuff, and just going about your business. And that's how you start, connecting with people and getting more subscribers, just like you've done already, and like I've done, the normal way to go about it. But I've seen a couple content creators that just start out fairly recently, fairly newer content creators, that I kind of stumbled upon their content for one reason or another and started watching them. And the whole first video, couple videos was all about, okay, well, I'm at, X amount of subscribers. I'm really hoping to get to this number so then I can do this, and once I hit that, then I'll be able to start making money here. And it's just like the whole blueprint for how to make money off of what they're doing. And instead of talking about the kit they're working on, or talking about how life's going, or what the kiddos are doing, or what, what I mean, like the things that people, commonly come to listen, watch content for. So I think people get a little bit lost in that goal setting, and the numbers of it all. They get a little bit lost in it, or a little bit obsessed with that, and then it starts to take over the actual channel itself. If I wanted to watch a YouTube channel about how to grow your YouTube channel and how to be successful on the YouTube, then I'd seek that out. But when I'm going to listen to a diamond painting content creator, I wasn't necessarily looking for YouTube channel growth strategy. It comes off, in my opinion, it comes off a little cold, and it's like you're missing the point. Start with creating content that people really engage with and can use to keep them company and have fun with and get to know you as a person. And then you can slip in like, oh, we just hit 100 subscribers, we just hit 200, this is really exciting, we just hit 1,000, whatever. Like those little milestones, do little prizes or whatever, do some special content. But to make an entire whip-in chat or several whip-in chats about your plans to monetize everything, it just feels a little disconnected from what people actually, what I believe people come to watch content for, so yeah, it's just a little weird to me. And if that's your MO, like, I'm gonna start a diamond painting channel because I like this craft and I want to make money, fine, like that can be a reason, but just tamp down the the money and numbers talk just a little bit. Don't put it in my face like that, because that's going to make me want to disengage. Like both of these content creators, I have subscribed to their channels, but this is going to sound awful, but I tend to hide all of their videos when they pop up. Hold on. Yeah, when their videos pop up on my home feed or whatever, my subscription feed, I just hide them, otherwise they'll keep coming up. Because I'll give them a subscriber, that's fine, but I don't know, it just feels weird to me, it just feels weird. I'd prefer to spend my time watching content from creators that I know that have a good heart. Hi.
Oh yeah.
Good, how are you?
Good, well, thank you.
They have a good heart, good intentions, and they don't make me feel like a sack of money waiting to be withdrawn from, I hope that's okay. And of course I won't say names, but I'm sure not who I'm talking, who I watched for a little while, but you've seen content and content creators that kind of have a little extra emphasis on the money and the numbers and the opportunity of it all. And it just, be ambitious, set your goals, create that vision board, but as the person consuming your content, I don't need to hear about it all the time. It starts to disconnect me from the content and the person itself, and I start to feel a little bit icky, like, oh, okay, well, I guess you don't care who I am, what, my purpose here is to provide ad revenue. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. But anyway, but I get where you're coming from. And I mean, I have those, it's not like I said, it's a nice to have thing, and it helps to supplement the cost of the channel, or forget that, it helps to just supplement life. It's a means of income, you know. It doesn't have to be directly tied to, it goes, you know, right back into the channel. Like sometimes maybe it does, and other times maybe I went and got myself lunch, you know. Like that's also not something I'm super hung up on, is like, where does that money go from the ad revenue? That's like working a normal job, and then your employer saying, you need to give me an itemized breakdown of where all your money's spending, and it should be invested right back into the company. Like when I worked for Abercrombie, when I was in college, I'd get my paycheck, and it would either be direct deposit or whatever, I'd go cash it, and I would turn right back around and go into the store and buy a bunch of clothes on discount so I could look cool walking around campus. I spent more money at that store than I earned working at that store. So I'm not trying to say that either. But yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah, focus, new content creators, focus on developing your little mini community, your following, subscribers around you. Engage with people, make them feel heard, make them feel welcome, give them something to look forward to have fun with, to engage with, and all in your goals and your vision board and all of that stuff will fall into place without you having to break it down for everyone every single time, you know. Because there's also a sense of, I think there's a little bit of, I feel, and this could not be anybody's intention, but there's almost a little bit of guilt, I think, subconsciously built into that, of like, oh, we're so close to X number, if only I had this number of people, I could be doing this and that. And it's like, are you trying to make me feel bad for not, like, what is my action here? Like, do I start calling around to friends and neighbors, see if they'd be willing to go on YouTube, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it starts to just turn into something else, you know? It's just a little unseemly for me. I, once again, won't mention the specific content creator or shop owner, but there was a particular shop owner who still has a shop that did lives once in a while. And sometimes they came off as like, you know, I complain about a lot of stuff on this channel and things I don't like. I mean, I'm doing it right now, but their version of it came off like, especially when they started a diamond painting business, instead of just doing what they were doing with their business. Once they started incorporating diamond paintings, they put themselves in a really tough financial spot. Basically, from what I understand, kind of starting this new arm of their business on credit, which not a good idea. So put themselves into significant debt to launch this diamond painting business, but they didn't have the sales numbers or the earnings off that business. At least this was a long time ago, but at least at that time, that they were expecting. And so the live streams and the whip-in chats started becoming a lot more about, look at this baby. Hi. Hi, look at the cutie. I know. They wanted to play. I love that little dog in like one of those little baby things. You would hate that, wouldn't you? The live streams and the content they were putting up started becoming a lot more about, which is natural to talk about your life, but how stressed they were about making ends meet and all this money that they've dumped into this diamond painting business and how it's not coming back, and it's just putting a strain on their personal life and strain on finances, and they're doing everything that they can, and it's just not working out, and they just don't understand why people aren't buying as much. And they did, I think the thing that is even more risky is pre-purchasing their kits in bulk and then selling them straight from the house. Great for shipping time, not so great if a kit doesn't sell. Then you're sitting on this inventory and it's just, until you sell it, it's just technically lost potential income or lost finances that could have been placed elsewhere to sell more. You just have this dead inventory sitting in your garage or wherever you're storing your stuff. And I always think that's a risky move for new diamond painting shops, to go that route instead of ordering, shipping, manufacturing based on order, as opposed to stocking an inventory. It's just way riskier to sit on all that product, because you might think that you have a good handle on what's going to be popular and what's going to sell, and you maybe even brought in some people to help you decide what's going to be a popular image or not, but no, you can't be sure. You can't be 100% sure that you're going to sell out of every single kit, every single, product that you decide to purchase. Because maybe it is popular, but it's popular for 10 people and you bought 50. It's popular for 50 people and you bought 100, It's so hard to gauge that. And if you're not able to hold that deficit of unsold inventory on your books and still succeed, then you shouldn't be doing it. Or if you're not willing to take the financial hit to do deep discounts to get that product moved, then you shouldn't be doing it. But this particular, shop owner, content creator, whatever, really seemed to lay it on thick of, like, my takeaway after watching a couple of those videos before I just stopped watching their channel and not really engaging with them anymore was, why aren't you guys buying more? Why aren't you doing more for me? I risked it all to do this, to start this business, and you're not supporting me like you should have. And now my family dynamic's in jeopardy. Now my finances are in jeopardy. It was almost like a "this is on you" kind of message. Not directly, like it wasn't, they didn't say that out and out, but to sit and listen to somebody for hours over the course of like a ton of different videos about how bad things are. It's like, I didn't put a gun to your head and tell you to start a diamond painting business. So, and I have supported you, did unboxings for them, purchased some kits and stuff, and they were meh. Everything was meh. So I once again, I don't think the shop owners have the intention of making you feel guilty about spending more money, or in the case of content creation, asking people to bring in more subscribers or watch more videos. But you can feel it in somebody's voice and their attitude and their change of kind of like how they approach content and stuff. You can feel it when someone feels a little bit salty that they're not where they thought they would be, and I just think that should really be avoided. For content creators, like I said, dude, I don't think anybody should walk into creating a diamond painting YouTube channel thinking they're going to make money off of it. I think that's just unrealistic as a concept. If you're lucky enough to get to that point, great. And I feel incredibly lucky that I've been able to get to that point. But I am by no means rolling in it. My gosh, I've been seriously considering taking on a second job to help get me closer to being a homeowner in favor of, or in the face of letting go of creating content as frequently and just kind of changing up where I spend my time and where it might be more valuable, because this isn't it from a monetary standpoint. But I'd hate to give it up because it's the connections and the people and being able to talk about stuff like this that I'm oddly interested in with people that actually care, because I don't have that anywhere else. So that's where I take the value out of it. But I have been seriously considering, like, you know, instead of doing a 3-hour vlog, you could take Apollo on a normal walk or just fewer ones, you know, and start doing DoorDash again or start doing Uber again and just start banking all that money, you know. Because this isn't, I don't see diamond painting YouTube as a road to like financial security or building wealth at all. And I don't think anybody else really should. I mean, if you do, great. If you are like, I have the personality and the editing skills to really make this into something that I can walk out of here with a living wage, you know, at the end of every month, great. But if we want to be practical, the chances of that happening in this day and age on YouTube with a very niche subset of YouTube users specific to the craft of diamond painting, the percentage of that I have to imagine is in the 1% chance or less that that's going to be the eventuality. So I just feel like we need to be realistic here. And from a shop standpoint, just because you have a really strong following on YouTube or have a lot of people that you're crafty pals with, does it mean, and maybe you even have people that are encouraging you to take this on, doesn't mean that when you decide to start a diamond painting business that those same people should be beholden or obligated to keep that business afloat for you. They might support you and think what you're doing is great, but that's kind of where, and promote you, but that's kind of where the buck kind of stops, you know? And I just feel like a couple of shop owners have mistakenly relied too heavily on their small, tight-knit group of people that might have been like, go for it. We'd love to see diamond paintings from you. Oh, you should totally open a shop. It'll be great. It's like, yeah, but if you turned around and told those same people, I need you to pay for my mortgage, you know, then the sentiment might be a little bit different. But I think in some of these shop owners' heads, that was the message, you know, and it's just really misguided. And then you see them posting about how sales are down and customers suck and this person wronged me and I'm just out here trying to be a small business. And it's like, yeah, I personally, here's what I'll say. I personally have disengaged from a couple of those shops because they started making me feel as though I have wronged them by not giving them more money, you know? And I personally did not ask these people to expand or start a business. And so I don't need to hear it. It sucks. I'm sorry that that's how the cards have been dealt. But there's a lot of things I think, the two major missteps that a couple of shop owners have made that led them down this path of having a rough go. And don't stock a ton of inventory when you first start. Place your orders based on when you get or place your order with your manufacturer when you get an order from customers and people are willing to wait. We've proven that people are willing to wait. Not everyone needs to be an Amazon or Diamond Art Club. People are patient. Don't have crappy customer service. If people have issues, take them seriously and be willing to stand up to your manufacturer rep and explain your issues and ask for change and be transparent with those efforts that you're taking. So don't be mean to the people that are trying to be honest with you. I think there's this whole mindset of either you're with me or you're against me. And against me can mean even something as having a problem with quality. You know, don't question anything I do, because then you're just being mean. You're just being snarky. You're being a crappy customer. And I'm going to post about it on Instagram and whine about it. It's like you don't grow your business that way either. We've talked about this so many times, but anytime I find a way to get back around to, I'm just like, some of these small business owners have so many crutches underneath them of why things aren't working out, and it just gets on my nerves. I'm just like, you know, another option is to find something else that fulfills you, that doesn't cause this stress and make you feel like you need to place that stress on anybody else's shoulders. And maybe a small diamond painting business, just it wasn't the right move and it isn't the right move. And that's okay. But don't make everybody else who people who have supported you or not feel bad about how things are going, or put the ownership, put that blame on customers or people that haven't bought from you but, you know, follow you and want to support you in other ways. Or don't put that on a event host that your sales didn't hit the numbers you were hoping after the event. Like, stop pointing fingers and start getting serious about what you actually want to accomplish. And if you don't see a path forward for succeeding on your own 2 feet, then that's your answer, Sally. No, I don't know. I just picked a random name, but I don't know. I don't like the blame game. I don't like people using guilt as a selling tactic. I don't like people playing victim as a potential selling tactic. It just seems so, it's right up there with a content creator telling me how much money I'm going to make them, you know? It's just like, ugh. Someday, I've said this in other videos and I always edit it out, but I'm just at the point now where I'm like, you know what? This is my channel. I don't have to answer to anyone. But when I do decide to shift away from YouTube and start doing something else, or start a new YouTube channel with who knows what the future holds. Whenever I decide to do whatever that is, it would be fulfilling for me in like a sick way to just have a video called airing all of my grievances. People that have pissed me off. And just be like, look, these are the shops that I was talking about at this video. These are the content creators I was talking about. Just everyone, keep your guard up, okay? Keep your guard up. Don't let anyone too close, and pave your own path. And don't spend any money don't let your emotions drive you to click a buy button, because that is used so often in this diamond. Sorry, battery died, which is probably the camera's way of telling me, wrap it up, homeboy. You're digging yourself into a hole. But yeah, I was saying, like, don't let guilt or anything like that be the reason why you shop with a shop. You know, it it can be emotionally driven. You know, like I think I mentioned the other day, like, oh, I think I'm gonna pick up some putties from the Creativity Squirrel, not because I need more putty right now. I just want to show the shop some love, you know. And somebody that's treated me nice, sweet, you know, Bex is amazing. I'm gonna show Bex some love. But it's different if Bex was like, hey, I need you to watch this video. And Bex gets on there and she's like, look, I bought 50 of this crying kitten kit because you all said it looked cute and no one's buying it. And now I'm in a position where I'm stuck with 50 crying kitten kits, and I wouldn't have gotten them if Anthony didn't say that he liked it. And now I'm sitting on all this inventory, can't buy new kits, my business is dead in the water. You guys need to do something about that. And it's like, Bex, poor Bex, I shouldn't have used her as an example, but it's like, Bex, I'm gonna go grab a folding chair so you can take a seat, okay? We're gonna go to the local Catholic church, find the nearest pew, and you're gonna take a seat. Because it's not how that works. And that's, I think, how a few shop owners feel. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Mia. That's gonna be the last one for the day, by the way. Oh, it's stuff like that. I will have those like thoughts and feelings, and I almost always have to, like, even if I started broaching that type of topic, I would automatically come back and be like, but you guys know that I support small shops, and don't take this as me not being, you know, being a hater of small shops, blah, 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 blah. And like try to like backpedal and cover my own butt, because but it can be both. I can support small shops and want to, and you know, spend some money in support of smaller businesses, and also think that there's some small business owners that run their business in a manner that I don't think is smart and that I don't want to support. It can be both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So I think I'm just getting to the point now where I'm just like, this, I don't have to, I want to respect, you know, I will respect everyone, you know, but still speak my mind and not feel like, oh, you don't want to, it's going to come back around and someone might hear that. And it's like, I think maybe that's good, you know, maybe help pull people out of their very like their, you know, their small circle of people that just, it's that kind of echo chamber of you're right and everyone else is stupid and wrong. You're right and everybody else is stupid and wrong. And they don't hear nobody hears anything else but that. And so I'm like, you know what? If it does come back, or, you know, circle back around, maybe that's, you know, and I might not be right at all. Maybe there's more sides to the story. There's more facets, of course. But this is how things look like. This is what things look like from a customer standpoint and a consumer standpoint that does have their kind of like eye on things and isn't just like a passive shopper, you know? So yeah, it's just, you know, this is how it comes off. I wouldn't say it if that's not how it made me feel, or if that's not what it looked like. So as a business owner, I feel like it might behoove you to, if anything else, kind of think back and be like, oh, maybe that did come off that way. But unfortunately, I don't think that's the case either. I think a lot of people are so, what do they call it when you're just like hunkered down? You're so like entrenched in I'm right, and others need to make this successful for me. I did the thing of opening the business, so now it's your turn to buy all this stuff, and I've done my part. Now comes the part where I make the money. And it's like, well no. But I think that there's some small shops out there that are really doing it right, and it really comes down to nailing the quality of the products, not just finding the closest, easiest, manufacturer rep that's the easiest to communicate with. They speak excellent English. I'm just going to go with them. It's easy, There's small shops that have nailed the quality and have demanded the best, and are really transparent with their shipping times. Lady, sir, ma'am, this is going to take 12 weeks to get to you. That's just God's honest truth, unless it's like, a ready to ship kit or something like that. Transparent with the timeline, so that way people aren't emailing constantly like, hey, it's been 4 weeks, you said 4 weeks, where is it? Give yourself that they gave themselves that flexibility of shipping time. They were very transparent with their pricing, and in that they didn't undercut themselves to be competitive. Starting off that way, you're really going to shoot yourself in the foot if you're like, I have to match or get close to Diamond Art Club prices, even if I'm taking a loss or making no profit on this stuff between shipping and all that stuff, because I just have to match them. I don't think that's what a lot of people are necessarily looking for either. That bar has shifted with more premium kits coming along. I'd prefer to pay more for good quality and good customer service than pay a competitive to DAC price for a crappy kit with a bunch of Chinese writing on the outside of the box and someone being nasty to me when I have a problem with their product. I'll spend that extra $40. So there's shops that are doing it really, really right. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Jade. Hi, Bex. There's shops out there that are killing it. So don't give me your, we're just a small shop and everyone's just putting us down. The small business always gets knocked down and our customers suck, because you can look to your left and look to your right and find people that made the right choices and the smart choices for their business, and you can see it, and they're amazing. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear I opened the Etsy shop, or I got on Shopify or whatever and opened the shop, bare bonesed it, and now you give me your money. I think there's a little bit of that going on as well. I'm gonna open a diamond painting shop, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, I opened a really competitive, affordable diamond painting shop, single and placing diamond paintings, and then I'm gonna be like, it's cut rate prices, you're gonna love it. And then you're gonna order a kit, and it's just like a napkin that I've squeezed a bunch of Elmer's glue on and then thrown in a couple of rhinestones. And a number 2 pencil with a piece of putty stuck to the end of it. And there you go. Don't ever complain, or else I will trash you on Instagram. It's a little lazy. But yeah. Okay, well, we're back to the car. Thank you so much thank you for that comment, Mia. I don't even know if I covered all of it, but I did heart and like it. I love you. If you want to chat more, just message me. But yeah, we'll talk later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. It is 7:34, so I have an hour and a half to get home, get to the movie theater. That's plenty of time. We did 6.32 miles, and that's it. Come here, come say goodbye. Hop up. Oh, stretch. Oh, stretches. Good boy. Okay. All right, bye everyone. That turned into a rant, but you know what? Yep. That's that. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.